What's up, YouTube? Preston here, and sorry it's been about over a week since I last posted. Just been getting over this cough that everyone seems to be going through. Anyway, regardless, I am here and present, and today I wanted to talk about something that kind of came up when I was playing Skyrim, and it's armor in video games, specifically skills that involve armor. In Skyrim, at the very least, there's very little in the way of utility that armor has. There is a skill governing light armor and a skill governing heavy armor, but aside from a few subtle differences, they're both the same. They both increase the armor rating of the respective armor that you're wearing. They both eventually become weightless for your character, and they both have an armor increase when you wear multiples of the same type, or if you wear like the same suit, like a same suit, like glass or ebony or something. Now, the only real difference is that light armor has a perk that increases your stamina regeneration when you're wearing all light armor, and then its master level perk is that you have a 10% chance of avoiding being hit. Heavy armor has a reduction in fall damage and a ability for 10% chance to reflect damage that is done to you from a melee attack. Now, in Skyrim, there are lots of different little nuances and unintended effects that the developers created or didn't patch out or something along those lines. So the heavy armor skill in Skyrim is kind of bugged. Spiffing Brit did a great exploit video on it, where the way that it works is the lower the armor rating is, the more damage that you reflect when it happens. And so what he did was he did something crazy where he reduced his armor rating to like negative 1,000 or something, and it insta-killed anytime that damage effect procced, which was insane, even though it also did 1,000 times more damage. Still getting over that cough. So Oblivion wasn't much better. Now, I'm an Elder Scrolls aficionado, so specifically Oblivion and Skyrim are the ones I'm the most familiar with. I've not played much of Morrowind, but I've seen a lot of videos on it, and then I'm pretty familiar with the Fallout franchise as well. The thing that armor in video games seems to lack. Actually, let me rephrase. Let's jump to a different franchise for a second. Yu-Gi-Oh! Okay, and now I'm a boomer gamer in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Series. I played it when it came out in the early 2000s, and then I gave up about 2005, 2006, something like that. So at the time, high damage was the main stat that people gravitated to. A lot of beaters, as they call them. And the thing that I'm noticing is that a lot of games, both tabletop, card, as well as video games, unless there's alternate ways of dealing with the situation, especially in action games, damage is key. You can build tank builds, and maybe World of Warcraft or something has better examples, but you can build tanky builds to an extent, but a lot of these games, at least the ones that I am familiar with, are very damage-centric, very attack-centric. The more aggressive you are, the more damage you inflict, the chances of you being safe, you know, protected are higher. I play a lot of RTSs as well, like Command and Conquer. Well, mainly just Command and Conquer. I've played some StarCraft, but Command and Conquer is my specialty. So, the thing that I wish, and I hope Bethesda's listening, is that armor and defense was done more like a JRPG. Because I have at least some experience in that, at least in Final Fantasy. And, well, 13 specifically is the one that I have the most experience with. And some of Snow's abilities, which is a character in that game, he's a very, like, upfront, like a traditional fighter. But he fights with his fists, which is really, really awesome. But he has soaking abilities where he can draw like damage to him. He can draw aggro. A similar mechanic exists in the game Army of Two, where the more that a person is attacking, the more aggro they draw to them, which means it draws the AI's attention to them, and so their partner can then like do flanking maneuvers and that kind of thing and deal more damage that way. So I feel like Bethesda could learn a thing or two from this and take more aggressive, a more aggressive writing style when creating their armor skills or unarmored skills, if you want to go back to Morrowind. And you know, I was that's kind of like what started this idea of, hey, I need to do a video on this, is incentivizing offensive defense. Because I know, like for me, like in RTS games, I love turtling. But over time, the strategy of turtling has basically become obsolete. Because if you watch pro players go off against each other, they're always very mobile, and they're constantly attacking, finding ways to attack, to sabotage, scout the area, gain information. It's very aggressive gameplay. And even though, you know, Bethesda's a bit more laid back than that, I would like to see armor take a more aggressive stance. So, for example, what if your heavy armor skill had synergy with your companions that you had with you, or your companion or whatever, or your conjured minions? So like whenever you have your allies within 100 feet of you, you could share some of your armor bonus with them. Okay. Or in the case of light armor, that dodge chance, like what if, again, with the 100-foot thing, if your allies are close to you, it makes them more nimble. All right. Or like the heavy armor damage effect, you know, again, have that, be able to share that with your allies. Or something like with your shield, instead of just being a flat armor reduction against attacks, specifically magic attacks, what if the magic that hits your shield, you can like bounce off, kind of like in Ocarina of Time with the mirror shield? Like you can like use that and you can like shoot a spell back at an enemy, okay? Or just go Captain America and give yourself the ability to like toss your shield at an opponent. This could be like a high level thing. You toss your shield at an opponent and then have it come back to you because you're actually attacking with your shield. Now it does have some, Skyrim does have bashing stuff, but like let's go a step further and give the armor and the shield skills more utility, and I think that would add to more like immersive gameplay and gameplay choices. When you're making your character, you can have certain build ideas based around these new abilities. I think that would just be, you know, incredible. And then Okay, maybe just a bit of a side tangent here. I think that melee weapons should have some kind of AoE effects. Now, the two-handed skill in Skyrim had that to a degree. It had sweep, whereas the one-handed skill was much more focused on like whatever was directly in front of you. But what if you gained the ability to like cast fire while, you know, like you swing your sword so fast that it ignites the air and you create a fire effect. And it's not like, it's not magic as in you're using a destruction spell to make that happen. It's just your skill as a swordsman is so advanced that you're able to do that. You know, I want to go through like all the skills in Skyrim and even Oblivion and stuff and be like, okay, here's like my version of what that would be. I think that'd be a great future video. Speaking of future videos, the Borderlands one is still in my mind. The thing is I need to keep making content like this because I've learned about myself that if I don't make content or set goals that are like, you know, easily achievable or like, especially with time constraints, you know, that I can achieve within like a day or two's time, I'm not gonna like do it. So I need to keep making more content like this, and the big idea is just something that I can work on like as like a back burner kind of thing, because I want to see this channel grow and I want to be successful. So I need to be you know, like, if you ever watch like other YouTubers that get interviewed, content is king is usually along the lines that phrase comes up, or just keep making videos becomes like a thing, you know, just do it. Just becomes like another, like a statement. Like these YouTubers are always creating something and working on something and they're posting something. So anyway, that was a couple of side tangents there. But that, you know, that's gonna kind of wrap it up for today. Bethesda, want more utility with my armors and my shields. You know, I want more effects. More gameplay options here, so that way it's not just a static stat boost to your defense. But that is all that's going to be from me for today. I've been your host Preston, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye!
Wasn't that fun? Let's try something else.